what exactly is leader standard work, right? And how can it help us to support the actions that are needed to develop and sustain a true culture of continuous improvement? So leader standard work is a tool that defines what a leader must do to ensure a successful day. And it ensures process integrity, right? It gives us a process that we're following, not just one person, but all leaders. And the best way to build and sustain a continuous improvement culture is incremental, right? As I said, daily accountability is key. So this is another snippet out of the book within question 2. But I introduced the readers to leader standard work. If you're unfamiliar, that's okay. But what I like to say for leader standard work is you think about it like time blocking, right? Time blocking. Like I mentioned, if I block time in my calendar for something, then normally I'm going to do it, right? If my calendar is important to me, which it is to me, then I block things that are a priority for me. I block time so that other things can't come into that. So it helps leaders to be in the right place at the right time, right? It also should provide a necessary list of activities to sustain your lean management system. So the performance of leaders is directly correlated to where they're spending their time and when, right? This gets us into that question: where are your leaders spending their time, right? So let me ask you, how do you change the behavior of an organization? How do you change the behavior of an organization? Well, you do that by changing the behavior of its leaders, right? And leader standard work is a way for us to do that. All right, I just saw someone mentioned starting from the top with leaders. Well, who should be doing standard work? Who should be doing standard work? Everybody, right? Everybody should be doing leader standard work. So it may look different depending on where you're at in the organization. For example, executives may only have 10% of their time standardized with necessary activities, right? While managers who are more, mid-managers, team leaders, they might have half their time dedicated to standard daily activities, right? We worked, one time I worked with one client who pulled their entire leadership team together. And they solicited ideas from the entire leadership team on what are the activities that should be standardized for each level of the organization, right? Some of these included a weekly third layer audit for executives, right? Where they're going out and auditing certain things that are happening in the business, right? Other ones included hourly walkabouts or Gemba walks by supervisors to check on production status. But these activities are going to be different depending on your industry and your team. And I always recommend using your team for input, right? I can't give you the activities that should go into your leader standard work, because if you work in a hospital, that's going to be different than if you work in a manufacturing plant, right? If you're in a banking industry, your leader standard work is going to look different than a manufacturing supervisor. So you need to look at your organization, pull your team together, and decide what are the activities, what are the tasks, what are the items that should be standardized in order to support the long-term vision that you have as a company? What are the daily activities? What are the weekly activities? What are the monthly activities that should be happening? So why follow leader standard work? Why is it important, right? Leader standard work solves problems quickly, creatively, and permanently, right? If I'm following leader standard work, I may be following up. I may have problem solving activities embedded into my standard work, right? I may have follow-ups on solutions that have been put in place for problems that were identified and solved in the company. Leader standard work also helps people to collaborate more quickly, right? Because you could put Gemba walks into your leader standard work. Those could happen daily. Again, weekly, depending on where you're at in the organization and what's important. But it also helps develop the next generation of leaders, because now if I have leader standard work and I'm helping to coach up someone else who will eventually take my spot, they know exactly what the activities are that are necessary in order for my position to support the long-term goals of the company. So I can coach them up and hand over that leader standard work at any time. It also helps deliver superior and financial results.